Hey, Mike. Legend. Ah, come on, man. We got to introduce ourselves, man. We're the guys that are going to save the world. Fine, I'll do it. Welcome to Two Dudes in a Garage, Save the World. Welcome to Two Dudes in a Garage. I'm one of your hosts, Brad.
And I'm the legend.
We're
Mike.
glad to be back. Mike.
It's been a while. I let Brad take a rest. He wanted a break.
I needed a break to feel better about myself.
Yes, he did.
I tell you what, in our absence, there's been a lot of craziness going on. We're here to talk about social stuff, politics stuff, world stuff, but most important, 250 years we've been on this. We've had this experiment going, and it's going pretty good, if you ask me.
It's going pretty good. We got a lot of gangster shit going on, though.
Gangster stuff?
Bunch of ghetto, white people, black, Puerto Rican. Anybody else?
I don't know. What do you mean
Somalian.
Gangster stuff going on?
Just people acting stupid.
Well, that's
normal.
typical, yeah.
It's 250 years of this great nation.
This great nation, this experiment that...
If you don't want to be here, you can get out.
That I can agree with.
We'll buy you a plane ticket, boat ticket, give you a free ride.
I can agree with that. I do. That brings us to our first story about how the Democrat Party, and it's not all Democrats. Fetterman has said some pretty intelligent things lately, but they've turned into a bunch of socialists. You know, I thought it was bad when they were talking about guys and girls sports, and you know, you can be like 37,000 different genders. But now they're talking about basically what it boils down to is communism. And
well, at least they passed a law transgenders can't play sports.
Well, they passed that law, but the Supreme Court actually said that the states can do it. But a lot of states doubled down and said, we don't care what they say. We're going to go ahead and pass it anyway. All that did was say that if states like West Virginia wanted to pass laws that said that, you know, if you do what you are at birth, that's the sport you play in, you know, based on your sex of birth, that you're allowed to do that. But the other states are also allowed dudes to play in sports.
Well, I disagree with that.
100%. Like, the whole reason Title IX, I believe it is, was made so that women had the same opportunities that men had in collegiate sports and in high school and other things. And I think I saw a poll where before the Title IX, it was like men's sports, 95% of them were, sports in high school and college were 95% were men, and 5% women. Now it's almost 56% men and 44% women. So it's almost balanced out because of Title IX. And instead of moving forward, helping young girls and young women do better in sports and to help them, we've taken steps back to where now dudes win championships.
Yeah, but they need to take that. Men can't win in the men's sport. They don't need to be in the women's sport.
That's like Leah Motorboat Thomas or whatever her name or his name or whatever that thing is.
He had a propeller.
He had a propeller. I mean, I didn't even know that, man.
That's against the rule.
We talked about that before. I didn't even know he still had a wiener, man. Like, he was...
He had it taped up. But
taped up?
I don't know. That thing...
It must have been some Scotch tape.
Well, it was giving them extra help, extra boost.
I'm just... How does anybody in their right mind... Seriously, like, I got a question for you guys out there. How does anybody in their right mind think it's okay that young 18, 19-year-old women are in a dressing room...
He had a rudder.
with a dude with a rudder in a swim contest? One, how is that appropriate? First of all, in the dressing room with them, where you got cock and balls hanging out with young women, and second of all, how is it fair that this guy that, genetically speaking, is taller, stronger, and more athletic than the women competing against them? How does anybody think that's fair?
It's not fair. Men are just built different.
I mean, that's a fact. It's science. Everybody talks about. Remember when COVID was around? Everybody was like, "Follow the science," and everybody had to shut up and do what they're told because we had to follow the science. These are the same people that are telling us that's not unfair.
That's why they going after Fauci now.
Fauci,
Poochie, whatever that doctor's name was, Guy Fauci.
Fauci.
That's the man. He has his last name's weird.
It's not Fauci. It's Fauci, dude.
Fauci. He still did wrong. He made us all look stupid.
Well, wear a mask, wear 17 masks, get a booster, get a shot, do all kinds of stuff.
But I want to wear my mask and my gloves in the car while I'm riding by myself. I mean, that just makes perfectly sense.
That is the dumbest crap I've ever seen, dude.
Dumbass.
I ride by people, I still see them doing that, and I'm like, who are you protecting yourself from?
Maybe they got COVID.
Well, who's going to catch it in the car when they're by themselves?
Maybe they give it to themselves. This calls for a drink.
It is really weird. But speaking of Fauci, and since we have been gone for a long time, so they come to find out that in the end, all the crazy conspiracy people that said it started in that lab in Wuhan or Wuang or Wu-Tang or whatever, that they come to find out they were right, and that the tests and the things that Fauci was doing were part of why we got COVID or whatever.
Well,
So in the end, all the conspiracy theorist guys that were shut down on by every social media people were actually proven correct.
I just got two things to say to Fauci. Up you.
You know we're a God-fearing.
Up you.
We're trying to save the world, man.
Oh, yeah, we got to save the world. Nobody else is doing it.
Well, yeah, Fauci, I'll agree with his sentiment, dude.
Then they took our boy out.
Which boy?
Eric. Not Eric. Kirk.
Charlie Kirk.
Took Charlie Kirk
Yeah,
out.
while we were gone, they took Charlie Kirk out, man. I did a TikTok post on that. You know, man.
They say there was a bomb in his necklace or in his microphone.
Did you not see the video?
Yeah, it didn't look like no 30-06. I got a 30-06.
Yeah, but that wasn't a bomb.
Well, it wasn't no 30-06 either. That'd blew his freaking neck off.
It just grazed the side of his neck, dude.
Yeah, no. That's a freaking bomb. We can agree to disagree.
Conspiracy theorists. Next episode, we'll have Mike in a tinfoil hat.
Yeah.
The bottom line is, Charlie Kirk was a point of good. You know, you might not agree with him, but he daggone expressed his views about Jesus. He a lot of things he said I agreed with.
Well, you knew what he stood for.
And that's regardless whether you agreed or disagreed.
You didn't have to like him. You didn't have to disagree with him or agree. But you surely didn't have to kill the man.
And you knew exactly what he stood for. He didn't whiffle waffle and trade around. And that's a lot more than I can say for a lot of our politicians now.
What about that Carlson Tucker dude?
Tucker Carlson?
Yeah, he done switched up on us.
He did, man. And Tucker Carlson was one of the...
And Candace Owens.
Well, I'll say this about Tucker, and this I didn't know. I had to get researching about. You know, Tucker Carlson was a registered Democrat.
No, I did not.
He has been a registered Democrat. Look it up. It is true. He's been a registered Democrat for a long time. And when someone asked him, they said that he did that so that in primaries he could vote against a person he didn't want to win against the Republican. I call BS. I think Tucker's always just been about Tucker. I think he had us all snowballed, fooled, that he actually cared about who we were. I think at the end of the day, he's trying to prove a point that Tucker is the coolest dude in the planet, and I think he wants to make a run at the 28. At the end of the day, the main thing Tucker went down the rabbit hole about, and him and Candace Owens are running down the rabbit hole about, is their absolute hatred for Israel.
But why would you hate Israel? Israel should have a right to defend themselves after them knuckleheads coming there and murdered and killed and raped.
We talked about it off camera, and I'll put this question out to everybody out there, and I think I've said it before. If they did what they did to Israel to the United States on October 7th, if they did that in the United States, whoever did that to us would be a parking lot the next day. Like, the American people wouldn't stand for it. Our government wouldn't stand for it.
Well, I wouldn't stand for it.
We
Hey,
wouldn't stand for it.
come in my backyard and do my family like that, I'm going to kill you.
It's just,
That's just simple as that.
I have no problem with what Israel does,
You
and
better kill me, because I'm coming after you.
we kind of figured that.
Because you're going to be a dead man walking, because I'm coming.
But
Clack, clack, bitch.
really, but Israel, daggone, trying to defend themselves, it shouldn't be that big a deal. And you know what? And I get so tired of hearing people say, "Well, they did this because, and they did this because, they did this because." You know, at the end of the day, there's a lot of reasons we could all say we did things because, but it all boils down to our actions. So you can say that you murdered Israeli children and Israeli wives and Israeli grandmas, and you took Israelis hostage because they took your land or they did other things, and you raped them for whatever reasons you
Well,
want to
what do you get out of that?
There is no because.
Nobody wins in that situation.
At the end of the day, you are responsible for your own actions. And whether Israel did something to you before or after or whatever, which I don't agree with, but even if they did, that it does not justify going in, raping, murdering, killing people because
Innocent
of something.
people.
Innocent people. Like they weren't even warriors or soldiers or anything, just innocent people that were in their home. And you're calling your parents to brag about raping and burning and killing people?
That'd be like them coming up our street where we live and just killing people. Children, women, even the men, just raping them, doing whatever they want with them. For what reason? No reason whatsoever. That's what I say.
Well, and it would not end well if they did it to us. So I'm sick and tired of hearing people say that, you know, the marches and the college protests. I'm sick and tired of them talking about pro-Palestine and all that. At the end of the day, man, I don't want anybody hurt. I really don't. I don't want anybody hurt. But you know what, man? It goes back to the old F around and find out.
Well,
and Israel showed them the find out. So
an eye for an eye.
So absolutely. And so you shouldn't have effed around if you didn't want to find out. And people say, well, innocent people. You know what? I don't hear a word about the innocent people that those people from Hamas did. All you care about is the innocent children and women in Gaza because Israel did some stuff to bomb them and go after them. You're still not crying about the daggone children and women that were raped and murdered on October 7th. At the end of the day, man, tit for tat, you mess with me, I mess with you, period. End of story, done. Get over it, deal with it, whatever. Don't deal with it. I don't care, but stop telling me I should hate Israel. I'm a God-fearing man, and I'm not saying everything that the Israeli government does is right. I'm not saying that everything they do is wrong. I really, at the end of the day, could care 2 cents less. But I will always say that people keep on pissing in the porridge of Israel, and when they retaliate, everybody's got something to say, but you don't say nothing about what they do to Israel. If you don't want to say nothing about Israel, fine, you don't got to. I don't care. But don't say nothing when they retaliate.
They better be glad they did it against Israel, because they did it against the United States, we'd wipe them off the map.
Oh, man, it'd be a freaking Walmart parking lot.
It'd be a bad day for them.
I use the example of if they'd have done it in Texas. So they, you know, if instead of Hezbollah, it was Mexico, and they did it in Texas, they came across the border and raped and murdered a bunch of people in Texas. The next day, Mexico would be a Walmart parking lot. 100%.
And I'd be right there.
And no one would bat an eye.
Nope.
But all of a sudden, because it's Israel, everybody's losing their mind. And I'm not saying the Israeli government hadn't done wrong things. I'm not saying they don't have, like, those special agent dudes or whatever. And I'm not saying they haven't made it good in their life. But who cares? At the end of the day, man, they have a right to defend themselves. They're a little population in a big old area where everybody hates them.
Everybody around them hates them.
Everybody hates them. So even if, so you're telling me if like 10 bullies come and harass you, and you kick the bully in the balls, they're going to yell at you because you kicked the bully in the balls, or you sneak behind him and kick him in the balls. Who cares, man? How about you guys complain about the 10 bullies trying to mess with you?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, man, it's never going to change. There's all this anti-Semitism and anti-Israel, and it's divided our party, and people are saying we shouldn't be in a war. You know what, man? About the war.
About Iran?
Yeah, and we're going to get into like why we disagree with the ceasefire and all that stuff. But the initial fight in Iran, they literally walk around saying death to America. You know what? I don't want to get into other people's wars. And people say this is for Israel. No, it's not. Iran literally talks about how death to America, we're going to kill them, infidels, and all that stuff. Not just Israel, us.
Come on.
So we go over there and blow the crap out of them. We do all kinds of nonsense to them and bomb all kinds of stuff. We're kicking their butts, and everybody's complaining, and gas is going crazy. I don't have a problem with that. I think that is absolutely positively what we should do. I think that's what we should have done a long time ago. We're doing it. My problem is this crazy 14-point agreement we've come up with that is just insane. You know, Donald Trump and I've voted for Donald Trump 3 times. He is my president. I think that he does a lot of good. I'll also admit when he does a lot of bad. And there are times when him and I...
Well, this agreement they come up with ain't worth it.
This agreement is... I literally could wipe my rear end with this agreement.
Yeah, because Iran's still shooting missiles and stuff at our people in Israel. Just wipe them out.
I'm not even talking about Israel. One of the things in this agreement
I'm talking about Iran.
That's what I'm talking about. Iran still doing... I'm not even talking about that. Strait of Hormuz, access. It's point number 5. Iran guarantees free passage for commercial shipping with normal traffic fully restored. That's number 5 on the list. Why are we still having to deal with Iran bombing or sending drones after freighters? The first time they did that, and I understand that I guess Donald has sent some stuff back, we should have went over there and blown the crap out of whatever boat or drone or whatever did it. We should have handled it. None of this stuff makes sense. We're giving money to them. We're going to release their assets.
We're rebuilding.
We're rebuilding the country. That is one thing I'll never make sense.
They come over here and blow us up. They're not rebuilding us, though.
That's one thing I'll never understand is that while we destroy countries because they mess with us, and we pay to rebuild them. That makes zero sense to me. And maybe somebody smarter out there, please in the comments tell me how that makes sense. If you mess with us, F around, find out, and I blow you up and destroy your stuff, why is it my responsibility to rebuild you?
When you're chanting death to America.
If you don't like us, fine. I got no problem, man. I don't come over to your country and try to do anything.
All I can say is USA. USA.
250, baby.
250 years.
That's,
not much.
That's one of the things that was going on in the Iran war. And everybody can complain about the gas prices. I agree with the gas prices.
But we had the high gas prices when he took office.
That's what everybody forgets. We had the high gas price when he took office. Inflation was crazy.
I mean, you went to the grocery store. It was crazy.
Eggs were like $4 a dozen.
And it's still too high.
It's still too high, but eggs are like $1.50 a dozen.
Still too high.
Still too high. But I hear all these people on TV complaining that Donald Trump said he was going to make things affordable, and here we are, it's still not affordable. And that people are struggling. I'm not saying people aren't struggling. I'm not saying that it's not tough out there. But I can honestly sit here and tell you my life is better now, 1.5 years into Donald Trump's presidency. I said pregnancy. Presidency than I was under Joe Biden.
Well,
I remember gas when Joe Biden was in office got up to $4.50, almost $5 a gallon. I remember it maintained spots around $4. When Trump came into office, it dipped down. It went back up because of the war. It dipped down. It's fluctuated, but it has had lower spots. Things in the grocery store has lowered a little bit. But anybody that ever studied economics knows once the prices go up, good luck getting them back down. The best you can hope for is that they don't go up anymore.
Well, they'll go down about 50 cents on the gallon, and they got us paying what we're paying now. Nobody's bitching or complaining about it, so it's all good.
It's not all good, but they know we have to accept it. I mean, what are we going to do, not drive?
Well, why does the fuel go up 50 cents overnight, comes down 2 cents the next day.
That is a question I've always asked myself.
And why, every time we go into a war or some kind of battle, fuel jumps up $2-3 a gallon?
Well, this one I can explain. And although I can explain and not explain. So the reason it went up is because the Strait of Hormuz, or Hamas, or whatever it is, there's oil that comes out of there, that comes out of that place. The question I have is, why does it go up?
We have oil here.
That's, you beat me to the punchline. What I don't understand is we don't even get any of that oil. Like, that's none of our gasoline supply.
Then we took Venezuela. We got 3 tankers that we took. Where did that oil go?
That's another question. It just doesn't make sense why this is still an issue. But it is what it is. Let us know in the comments what you think about the Iran war, because we're going to have a whole episode about that at some point. We're just trying to go through the things we missed while we've been gone. One of the other things that's going on is, I don't know if you guys have seen it. I know me and Mike haven't seen it yet, but Supergirl came out. And the actress that plays it, Miley Alcock, which is very ironic for what I'm getting ready to say. She says that Supergirl most likely swings both ways. So she's a bisexual. I remember reading Supergirl. I remember the famous Crisis on Infinite Earth where Supergirl dies, reading that comic book. And I don't remember anywhere where it talks about how Supergirl was a bisexual superhero. What do you think about Supergirl being bisexual?
Whatever floats her boat.
Very obtuse. Did I use the right word, obtuse?
Upscale.
Upscale, that's not what I was going to say. My question is, why does every single thing that we do now, whether it's superhero movies, Star Wars, commercials, everything have to include part of the LGBTQ plus minus division, alphabet, snake-ridden things? Why does it all have to be included on every single thing we watch nowadays? Especially when I got the numbers here. I told you I did. Especially when the percentage of the United States doesn't equal the liquidation of everything in our environment having part of that. So the population of the United States adults that are bisexual, which is the biggest group, is 5.3%. So 5.3% of the United States identifies of going both boys and girls. 1.6% says they like the same sex, so they're gay. Boys like boys, girls like girls. 1.4%, I guess I was wrong. This must be for men. 1.4% says girl on girl. And probably that other 96% would probably watch that. 1.1% claims they are transgender. So between all those letters, that is 2.5, 4.1, 9.4. 9.4% of the United States is part of the LGBTQ plus minus division group. And every single aspect of our lives has to be included in. Does that make any sense to you, Mike?
None to me. How are they overpowering us?
I mean, that's
Why do they get June Pride Month?
90% of the rest of the world is heterosexual. But less than 10% dictates how we live, what we talk about, what goes on, the conversations we have. Less than 10% dictate. How is that remotely possible?
That is a good question.
Let us know in the comments what you think about how 10% dictates to us all. Next thing I want to go into is the Save America Act is going on, and I'll just give you a heads up. We're probably going to split this into 2 pods, but the Save America Act talks about having an ID to register to vote and to vote, and I'm still trying to figure out why anybody in America is against it. from the recent poll that I saw, 70% of Democrats thinks it's perfectly right to have ID to vote. 94% of Republicans think it's right. So you have the majority believing that you should show your ID to vote in America.
Well, they had to show the ID to come into Obama's library.
Right. Or to buy beer.
Or to buy beer. Or to fight for the country.
100%.
So,
why do they not need to show up ID to vote? Why wouldn't you want fair and legal elections, regardless of what side of the aisle you're on?
and screw the mail-in vote.
That is the biggest cheat, especially when they're going out in L.A. and which leads to the next story. They go out in L.A. and literally it's been proven that they went to homeless people with a bunch of votes, with a bunch of ballots, and told them, here, just fill this out. We'll give you $5, $10, or whatever, and then just send them in. Which goes back to the L.A. mayor race. So I'm still trying to figure this out, and I've been trying to figure this out since 2020. When I went to sleep about 1 o'clock in 2019 or 2020 or whatever it was, Donald Trump was up in just about every state that I saw. Every state that was a swing state, he was up. And he was up by big. So I go to sleep, I wake up the next morning, and I hear Joe Biden win the presidency. And I'm like, how is that possible? Like, I've never seen that in the history. You know, they've been close and back and forth, and I can understand a little bit. But it was big numbers, and all of a sudden Joe Biden took over. Well, something similar happened in L.A. Originally, it was Karen Bass and Spencer Pratt, after a couple days of the voting. They were the two finalists. They were going to have a runoff. And Spencer Pratt had about like an 8% lead. Karen Bass had a few percent lead, like 5% lead over Spencer Pratt. They'd already called Karen Bass was in it. Like, there's no way anybody can come back. They didn't call Spencer Pratt. And Spencer Pratt had a bigger lead over the number 3 than he was behind on number 1. But days after that, I think it was like 3 or 4 days after that, all of a sudden this commie, American-hating woman, Nithya Raman, took over Spencer Pratt. So now you have two Democrats fighting each other. So you don't have a choice. It's going to be a Democratic mayor of L.A., which is absolute horseshit. But come from nowhere and all of a sudden overpassed him, and yet Karen Bass's lead over either one of them didn't grow anymore. How is that mathematically possible?
I don't know. I didn't pay no attention to that one.
It makes you wonder. It really makes you wonder.
California, they make up their own laws anyway. Their own rules.
That they do. That they do. And the last thing I want to talk about, and I don't know if any of you guys have seen this, and Mike, I don't know if you know a lot about this, but a report was out about by Rupert Lowe, and some families in Britain, in the UK, that a report went out about these Islamic gang rapings. And I read some of this. I watched the videos about it. I saw some things about it. I saw some Twitter stuff about it. And as a father, it was very, 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 very disturbing. You know, we can all disagree on politics. We can disagree about how much taxes you should take from me. We can even disagree about abortion. I think it's a life. I will fight till the day I die, but we can disagree on that. But how does anyone let these poor, innocent girls from the ages of 6 to 12 be raped, mutilated, tormented, degraded, filmed? How do they let this go on and go to sleep at night? From this report, it wasn't just these men that did it. It wasn't just the men that watched the videos. It wasn't just the men that bought some of these girls. But it was public officials that didn't just slide it under the rug, that participated in it. How as a human being can you do this And how is not the whole world in a revolt asking for answers?
Well, how come UK is not? They should be pissed.
What is, I do find ironic, the day after this, the Prime Minister of UK resigned. The day after this report was released, he resigned.
Are you talking about England and Wales and all that too?
Yeah. But
I guess that's UK.
yeah, it is. But he resigned.
Would
the
that
day
be
after-
United Kingdom?
I'm not saying that that's why he resigned, but he resigned the day after this report was.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
But
He might have been a ringleader.
No, I think he's gay.
He might have been embarrassed.
I think he's gay.
Well, I don't know the man.
If you haven't read the report, if you haven't heard about this, look it up. It's a report by Rupert Lowe, who was an MP, which I believe is like an investigator in the UK. 250,000 young women, mostly young women, some young boys, were raped, mutilated, sexually assaulted, or tormented by 89%, and I could be wrong, it could be 85%, Islamics, mostly from Pakistan.
Well, how's that any different from the ones doing it in Israel?
It's not.
Really?
And the reasoning behind it,
They want to try it over here, probably.
the reasoning officials said that they didn't press charges on some things, and some of the things were horrible. Look it up for yourself, because I don't even want to talk about some of the horrible things they did. But the reason they said is that they did not want to be labeled racist.
Or Islamophobic.
Okay. I'm going to say this, and it'll probably be controversy, and it'll probably cause problems. I am not going to be one of those guys that says every religion is equal. It's not. I'm sorry, it's not. Say what you want to say about me, and I'm tired of hearing about the freedom religion. I'm not saying you got to be my religion. I'm going to say there's a big difference between Jesus Christ and Allah. Jesus Christ, in the teaching that I have read, promotes peace and love and caring and helping one another. And I'm not saying through history people haven't used his name in the wrong way. I'm just saying the gospel preaches love, being kind to your neighbor, being kind to your enemy. Preaches love. Radical Islam teaches that anyone not following them is an infidel and deserves to die. I've read reports, I've seen the pages. A lot of the Quran and other parts of the thing call for the elimination of anyone not following their religion. America is literally founded 250 years based on Christianity. It doesn't say you have to follow it. It doesn't say you have to believe it. But it was founded on those principles. I'm sorry, at the end of the day, Islam should never be the religion of America. Period. And if that's the country that you people want to have, either A, find your half of the country where you want to live in, or B, it's time for me to get out and find a country that still loves Jesus.
Yeah, well, up there trying to do that up in Michigan.
Michigan's
Omar.
gone. New York's gone. As of this week, Colorado's gone. And I don't say, this is not a Joe Biden and Kamala Harris and a Gavin Newsom. This is not me talking about them. I disagree with every one of their policies. I think they're absolutely positively stupid. But at their heart, I don't think they actually hate America. The people that you guys in the Democratic Party are voting in office right now 100% hate America. They want to destroy our foundation, rebuild it in a Sharia law that none of us want to live in. Women, I can't believe any of y'all, which is crazy because white liberal women are one of the biggest majorities that are voting for these people. I can't believe any of you guys want this because your lives will change dramatically. You will have to wear that crap on your hair. You won't be able to wear makeup. You'll have to subside to your husband. Your life will change dramatically. Those things that you get to do now, with the freaking butt plants and the fake boobs, that's over, dude. These guys will dictate everything you do with your life.
And they're not your friends. They will kill you.
And that's the goal. Listen
They
to
hate
them.
America.
They'll
period.
tell you. They'll tell you their goal. Their goal is to get into the government and destroy us from within. They won't tell you a fib about it. They'll tell you right to your face that's their goal.
Wake up, people. Wake up.
And this is what we're doing. We're electing these people. We're putting them in positions. As much as I hate Schumer and Jeffries and stuff, at least at the end of the day, once they get over hating Trump, I think they would go back to some kind of reality. These guys will never will. They're going to destroy our country. We'll be back next week, and I'm so thankful that we're back and we got to do this video for you guys. Like I said, I might split it up or I might just keep it like it is. As always, please like our videos, subscribe, share with your friends. Tell people about us. We're going to make some more videos and do more things. Let us know in the comments some things you want us to talk about. We're also going to be having some of these shirts on sale soon. I got one that Mike should have wore his, but it says the Dr. High Five My Mama, which I'll wear next time in here. As always, I love you, God loves you, and the legend will always be the legend. Peace.